Hi, in this video we are going to learn how to integrate Twitter images and Twitter messages into our perimeter system, right? So the first thing we need is a Twitter account. We cannot make searches into Twitter without a Twitter account, so you must have your credentials to log into Twitter, right? You will also need the version 1.28 of LDSperimetral system. Twitter changed the way, the technical way to make connections to their systems, right? So in this version is where we implement the changes needed by Twitter, right? So if you try what we are going to see in this course in a previous version, now it will not work. Before it worked, now it will not work. You will need this release, right? So the first thing we will do is we will create a playlist, right? I have already done it. That is called Twitter playlist, and in that playlist I've created a sequence. Let's go to have a look to that sequence. Let's make it smaller. 4K sometimes is too much, right? Our Twitter sequence will be composed of two media sections. One is the blue background image is a solid blue color, right? And the other one is the solid black background, right? Just to differentiate the two different areas, right? In the blue blue back area, we will say that here we will print Twitter messages, text messages, right? We will use a font size of 36, and it will be and the color of the letters will be white, right? On the other side, in the black background area, we'll say that here we will place the Twitter media. Here will appear the images that are downloaded from Twitter. So in this area, from this point to this point, there will be images, and from this point to this point, right, from here to here, you will see the Twitter messages. You can also include other media, different videos, different what you want, right? In a video, you can say that will be a Twitter area or message. If it is a message, the message will be presented on top of your video, right? So you can play with it to be a bit creative, right? Once this is done, we will save the sequence, right? As it is only for illustration purposes, I will not cover all the perimeter system, right? Just we will see now how it looks, right? So let's close this window, and now let's log in and let's authorize this application to make searches as it was you in your Twitter account. To do it, just click in the Twitter button, and then you will see that here appears a request about Twitter. This is a browser window, right? Here you are seeing what Twitter is asking us, right? So that you can authorize this application into Twitter. The first thing I have to do is to write my user and password Twitter, right? We do not store it. This goes directly to Twitter, right? For example, and you click in the Authorize Application button. This will appear in your language, in the language that Twitter detects that is the one that your browser uses, right? Once the application is authorized, you will be requested to introduce these numbers in the application, right? So the application will send to Twitter these numbers, and Twitter will say, oh yes, that match. This is correct. This is the application I have authorized, right? So write in the application, this box here, these numbers. You will only have to do it once, the first time you use Twitter in your installation, right? Click in Send Pin, and you're ready to go. Here we have a text box for making searches in Twitter, right? And the results will be presented here and here. Messages and media. We will separate those messages that have images than the messages that do not have images. So for example, let's search for football, for example. And here we are receiving messages that are sent at this moment in Twitter and talk about football. Here we can put, here we can write any tag we want. Let's turn on now the Twitter sequence. This Twitter sequence is empty. It means that at the moment we have not yet authorized any message or any image to be presented in our perimeter system. So the system writes a message. How can we change this message? How can we change this message? Very easy. Let's close it for a second. If we click here in the configuration, here we have what message will appear when there is no Twitter message. For example, you may choose a message to the people who's in the stadium. Send your images or messages with this tag, for example, right? For example, the messages that you send will need this tag, and pictures with this other tag. Perfect. You save it, and when you run your Twitter sequence and you do not have any message approved, this is the default message that will appear. You can choose it, right? But let's start approving some kind of message. For example, let's accept this message. When you accept a message, it disappears from this list and appears in the list Messages Approved. Now, as you can see, the message has already appeared. When the sequence starts, it selects the next messages. As we only have one, there is only one by the moment. Let's accept some other messages. Now we have 3 different messages, right? Every time the sequence finishes and starts again, it selects the next message, right? So if we click here, starting again the sequence, you can see that we are rotating through our messages, right? The media is exactly the same. If we click in this tab, we will see all the photos and images that we have received. We just have to click in one of them to accept it, right? For example, let's accept this one, let's accept this one, let's accept these. Well, some messages, some images. Immediately you can see that in the area that's dedicated to images, all the images appear one next to the other in the order of approval, right? And when you reach the last one, it begins again from the first. So the idea is that if you have hundreds of images, you would see now some images, then would be the next, then the next group, then the next group, and at the end it will go back again to the first, right? So as you can see, it's not difficult. It's very simple. If you close your system and start again LDSperimetral, the accepted images, the approved images and messages will still be there. We will not lose it, right? Until we stop the search and we click on Make Clean. When we click in Make Clean, all the approved images and messages will be removed, right? You accept it, you confirm it, and when the sequence starts again, we will go back to our previous message, right? So I hope this has been useful for you. I hope you like it. Thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.